What's up, YouTube? PokePrimer here, proud and ready to deliver you our Week 1 matchup in NPBF. The way we're doing it this season is, odds are I'm probably not going to get any live comms, and that's just the way it is. If I do live comm, it doesn't really matter. I'm not going to change up the style, but I'm going to go for much more long-form kind of things. I'll set up timestamps. If you choose to skip the team builder and watch the battle, that's fine, but they will be together going forward. I will try to remember to do timestamps to skip the battle, to the battle. So that's the plan with that. But we are here for NPBF Season 14. I'm super duper excited. This team is all about me, all about things that I enjoy. And Week 1, we face somebody who has been our kryptonite in the past few seasons. And that is Sionie and his new team name, the Z-Guardian Kokos. Dope-ass logo, by the way. He actually made the new Anaheim Appletons logo that you are seeing. So that's pretty fucking cool. He's a really cool dude. I love Sionie. He's a good guy. Good guy. Appreciate his presence. We're actually doing a cage lock together now. He's much more lucky. He's much luckier than I am. And we've had, some pretty solid matches so far. And there's always seems to be something that happens that turns the tide, and it just so happens to consistently be in his favor. So hopefully we can get a little lucky this time and not have that happen again. I want to beat him. I really want to beat him. I really want to. Anyway, that aside, yeah, this is going to be our team builder, and then the battle will be later. Timestamp will probably either appear on the screen or will be in the description. One or the other. I'm not sure yet. I haven't determined how I'm going to edit this. So, yay. Anyways, his team, you can see it on screen there. And this is where I'm going to decide to reveal this because I think it's funny. Now, we played it off during the draft, right? That I had Sean's picks. He sent me a whole list with backup picks and all types of stuff, and I made all of his picks for him throughout the draft. He just said he was like, it just happened bad time. I was really busy. I'll be completely honest with all of you. That is not the case. Solely me, drafted the team. He made a joke about it. He made a joke saying, like, you should just draft my whole team. I was like, alright, bet, I'll do it. And when he said, no, I was joking, I was like, damn. And he's like, you know what, fuck it. And go ahead and do it. So, I went into it, basically was like, alright, I'm going to give Sionie a Jeff draft and give him the best that I can give him throughout the course of it. And, I think he picked one of the mons. He picked one mon, and that was about it. And that was just because he wanted to snipe. He thought it'd be funny to snipe someone. So his team ended up being Dragapult, Sylveon, Rotom-Mow, Drapion, Charizard, Kanto, Sandslash, Crustle, Jirachi, Suicune, Beware, and Regice. So, this team is incredibly annoying, and I hate myself for building it. First of all, Suicune. My team does not break Suicune, quote-unquote, effectively at all. My team does not break Suicune. No, it doesn't. It just doesn't. I don't have great ways of breaking this. Sylveon. I have good defensive ways of dealing with it, but offensively, I'm kind of a little bit bankrupt here. Dragapult. Yikes. Fear incarnate. Jirachi. Not as much of a problem, I'll be completely honest. I have plenty of ways of handling with Jirachi. I just hate dealing with Jirachi because it's annoying. And even a couple other, of the not, crazy standout mons are a little bit harder to deal with. Charizard can be an absolute pain in the ass. Drapion's a little bit annoying as a defensive mon against my team. Rotom could be kind of a problem, actually. Rotom is incredibly problematic against a lot of my team. And of course, I'm always scared of Crustle. Even if I have like 3 things that could check Crustle, I'm always scared of Crustle. I know the power Crustle has, so that's why we got it. Because it's good. It's a great mon. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at what we are bringing. First things up, we have Tokoyami the Corviknight with the Rocky Helmet, Pressure Ability, Max HP, Max Spadef, Fully Spadef, Careful Nature, Corviknight, Ironhead, Brave Bird, Roost, and U-Turn. So, first things first with Pressure. I debated on this a lot, and obviously hindsight, because the match has already happened at this point. Obviously in hindsight, I think Mirror Armor would have been the play. Mirror Armor definitely was the play here, but I just didn't think about it. I was so torn between it because I wanted Pressure to be there, and the main reason I wanted Pressure to be there is because I've been using Corviknight a lot lately. I have Corviknight also in another league that Sionie helps run called the PBL, and I've literally pressure stalled people out of all of their moves already with Corviknight. It's fucking dumb. I love Corviknight. It's such a stupid mon. It's such a stupid mon. It's so fun. I wanted Corviknight to be able to PP stall things out of their moves. I wanted to PP stall the Sylveon as much as possible so that I could, you know, just kind of sit in front of it or have other things that can sit in front of it later. Having something that can also PP stall the Suicune if it gets to be a little bit annoying and out of hand. Being fully split up, I think he has to get to like... obviously depending on his investment. If he's like if he's defensively invested and not like offensively invested, I think he has to get to like +2 or +3 to be able to KO me with Scald. Maybe more. I don't remember the calc off the top of my head. Corviknight's just fat bird. No, there's a lot of mons that just I need PP stalled on them. If I can do it, I will stall every one of your PPs. Ironhead, I specifically wanted to have on here because that way I can do big chunks to Sylveon if it's fully physically defensive. I still do like 33 to 39% or something like that, I believe. It might even be more than that. I don't remember. But I'm pretty sure it's like close to, if not a guaranteed 3 KO. So if he does have Wish, Protect, and stuff, I get to force those out, which is important. Brave Bird, I just want to be able to hit everything. Nothing on his team aside from Jirachi resists the Brave Bird, which granted is annoying enough. It is annoying because, you know, I can't really touch the Jirachi. I have to U-turn out. But the Jirachi also, unless it's like a fully special set, can't really touch me that much. Like, if he brings like a standard, like... I don't think he'll bring a standard Scarfrachi against me because it's not smart. But, you know, if he brings like Scarfrachi just to be annoying, Corviknight just kind of hard walls it. Like, obviously, if he flinches me down, he flinches me down. But I don't think he would stay in and do that after he starts taking the Rocky Helmet chip. That's pretty much the main reason the Rocky Helmet is there, if I'm being honest. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but we got the U-turn for that, and obviously Roost for health. Next up, we have Lycan the Zoroark. I believe I'm probably looking to disguise this thing as the last mon in our party. Probably going to be, spoilers, it's Galarian Slowking. The reason I want to disguise it as that is because it invites in mons like Dragapult. It invites in mons like Dragapult. It invites in Drapion, which isn't the best, but it still invites in Drapion. It potentially invites in Jirachi. You know, stuff like that. Mons that do not appreciate a max attack Black Glasses boosted Sucker Punch, and do not appreciate a Focus Blast. That's kind of the goal with that. I felt like I could gain the most if this thing is hidden as that. Plus, I could really work to pay attention to Professor X's health and make sure that I can keep him at full so that, like, because they both take the same amount of rocks damage, so, like, with Regenerator and stuff, I can pretty much keep him at full so that if I bring it in at full, it's not going to be an HP issue. You know, there's not going to be an HP differential between the two of them, and he'll be like, okay, that one's the Zoroark. I feel like it'll be easier to keep Zoroark hidden longer if I have it disguised as our Regenerator Mon. So, that's really cool. But we have Black Glasses, obviously Illusion. Max attack, 40 in special attack, 216 speed. With a Naive Nature, Sucker Punch, Throat Chop, Knockoff, and Focus Blast. I have Throat Chop because of Sylveon. I don't think he's going to run Moonblast over Hyper Voice. I don't think he's going to think about all the ways that I have to shut down Hyper Voice on Sylveon. Plus, like, if he brings out Sylveon in front of me, like, I get free damage on it every time because, you know, he can't, like, I will always outspeed him, and I will always be able to Throat Chop him before he can attack me. So I can pretty much nullify his Hyper Voice before he ever gets a chance to use it on this Mon, at least. Knockoff, of course, always important. Sucker Punch is crucial for dealing with Dragapult and Jirachi. Can't flinch me down if I'm always moving before you, which I think is going to be really important. And Focus Blast, just kind of like, I needed Focus Blast because basically, like, Dark coverage hits the entirety of the team except for Drapion and Beware. So at least with Focus Blast, I can chunk through the Beware and do decent chunks to the Drapion as well. So, pretty straightforward with Zoroark here. Next up, shockingly, we're actually bringing this thing week 1. I didn't actually expect it to be coming so soon. We're bringing Bobobo the Bouffalant, Citrus Berry Soundproof ability with Close Combat, Throat Chop, Iron Head, and Facade. This thing shocked me. Okay, this thing really shocked me. First of all, I didn't know it had Soundproof, making this thing a great switch-in to Sylveon. This thing is an amazing switch-in to Sylveon. So we have max HP because this thing's natural bulk is dumb. We have 128 in special defense with a Careful Nature. I believe this allows us to not be 2-hit KO'd by Specs Dragapult's Draco, which is really, really good for us because then we can, like, come in on a Draco if necessary, and we can Throat Chop afterwards, which is good. Close Combat just kind of smacks stuff hard. Helps us break through, like, the Regice and stuff. Throat Chop is obviously for the Ghost types. Also kind of helps a little bit with Sylveon because I can also Throat Chop the Sylveon and then switch into something else that might typically be weak to Hyper Voice and not have to worry about switching in on a Hyper Voice, which is cool. We have the Iron Head, though, more so for the Sylveon. We have the 44 speed EVs to outspeed a non-invested Sylveon, which I don't think he will be invested. I think if he's going to... I think if he brings Sylveon, I think it needs to be really bulky against this team to try to deal with it appropriately. So I don't see him having investment. So this way I can always outspeed him, get an Iron Head off first, potentially flinch him out with Iron Heads, which could be really funny. But Iron Head still does a really decent chunk of damage. I just kind of threw the rest into attack to make sure my Iron Heads are hitting really hard. And then I have Facade. I was really struggling over the stab move I wanted. I debated with Body Slam, potentially get Paras and all that kind of stuff. I knew I didn't want Head Charge this week because, 1, I'm not running Reckless, so I don't get that extra power boost. 2, basically, like, I was expecting this thing to either get Toxic or get burned at some point, and at least if that happens, specifically the Toxic, I was hoping more so for the Toxic. If that happens, I still have a really strong stab move to click against everything on his team that isn't Dragapult. So that was kind of like the goal here was to have that available. So Bobo looks really good in this one. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I really like Bufalon, man. I really like this mon. It's already showing that it looks like it has a lot of potential. Good mon. Next up, we have Going Merry, the Keldeo with Chesto Berry, Justified Ability, Secret Sword, Scald, Calm Mind, Rest. So basically, looking at the matchup, bar like a banded Dragapult, which granted isn't the worst thing in the world. Granted, we also can't really touch it, plus, and we could potentially Scald Burn that, so it's not the scariest thing in the universe. His team does not deal with a setup Keldeo at all. Secret Sword smacking on the physical side helps us, even though it's resisted, still kind of break Sylveon if we have to, especially if it's a Calm Mind variant. It helps us break through Beware. It helps us break through... It breaks Regice all the time. It helps break through Drapion. It will just wreck things. And then Scald is gonna destroy the rest of the team, pretty much. This set's pretty crazy. Like, once we get if we can get a few Calm Minds up, this thing's gonna be nutty. I just went with Resto Chesto because like I feel like this thing can get worn down really quickly, especially while it's Calm Minding. So if I can like get like 2 or 3 Calm Minds up, and then like it's down at like 25%, I can just fire off my rest and be good to go. And then you can probably just win with Keldeo, which is great. Love Keldeo. We have enough speed for Charizard, max special attack, and then through the rest in HP. Nothing too crazy with the spread. Moving on, we have Urate, the Rotom. I also didn't expect to be bringing a Rotom Spook this early, but brought it for specifically one reason, but also because it has actually very niche usability in this match. We have the leftovers with Levitate ability, of course. We have enough speed for, I believe, Rotom-Mow. Yeah, we have enough speed for Rotom-Mow. We can always outspeed your Rotoms. Ha ha ha. Max special attack and 40 in HP. Willow, Hex, Pain Split, Psych Up. Now, this is brought specifically because our team, aside from setting up Calm Minds with Keldeo, doesn't really have great ways of dealing with a Calm Mind Suicune. So if he gets a bunch of Calm Minds up, we just kind of... I would prefer him to be the Calm Mind Rest Talk set. And here's why. Because he gets up a whole bunch of Calm Minds. He gets down pretty low, right? I bring in Rotom, and I Psych Up. Hopefully as he rests. Right? I steal all of his Calm Mind boosts. So now, Suicune can't touch me. Suicune can't touch me. And he goes sleepy. And then I have boosted hexes against him with the Calm Minds up. And I can really just smack him. The Will-O-Wisp is also going to be really handy to help deal with like the Beware if it shows up. Help deal with Dragapult if it's physical. Allow me to smack it even harder with Hex. Preferably, I would be able to get my Calm Minds off the Suicune before Dragapult comes in. Or Dragapult just hard switches it on a regular Hex, and that'd be really funny. Stuff like that could also happen. But yeah, there's a lot of things that this thing can do. Plus, the boosted Hex just does so much to a lot of things in the team. And the things that don't take all that much damage do not want to be burned. Which is very important to note. Plus, we have other ways of spreading status, so Hex is even better in this matchup than like it looks like on paper. Which is great. Which is really great. I like Rotom. Rotom Spook is a really fun-looking little dude. Last but not least, you already know he's here. Is Professor X. This is the Galar Slowking. We have Seaberry Regenerator. That allows us to deal with the Dragapult. We have max HP, 120 Spadef Calm Nature, and 136 Special Attack. The 120 Calm Spadef I believe that is also for Specs Dragapult. I believe that is the case there, because Berry prevents us from... I think the combination allows us to live two... it's two Shadow Balls. Two Shadow Balls from Specs Dragapult. We guarantee live, which is great, which is really good. We have Future Sight, Sludge Bomb, Thunder Wave, Slack Off. Future Sight is just such a good move because, like, in the heat of a tough matchup, you forget Future Sight exists a lot more than you think it is. Like, a lot more, which is fucking great because, oh yeah, you're put into a situation where you have to switch into your Beware, you have to switch into a mon that doesn't resist Future Sight on something. You have to make the switch, or whatever mon you have out that could be crucial dies, or that would normally be immune to or resist it. Like Drapeon's out, and I get Bouffalant in or something, and Drapeon's gonna die, but he needs to keep Drapeon alive for something. Bad example. Good example. Jirachi. Okay? Jirachi realizes it's in front of... It can't touch... I go out into... It's a physical Jirachi. Painting the picture for you. It's a physical Jirachi. A Future Sight is up as it comes in on the Slowking. It knows it can tank a Future Sight. I go Tokiyami on an Iron Head, and you take the Rocky Helmet chip. Well, now what do? Now you U-turn out, or just hard switch into something like the Charizard, something like the Rotom to scare the Corviknight, to deal with the Corviknight. Corviknight hits you with a U-turn as well. You take a little bit of chip damage. Okay? Not only do I get a leg up on you, I can bring out something like Lycanroc, something like the Keldeo to deal with whatever you just brought in. But now you're taking a Future Sight to the face that is either killing you or putting you well within range of whatever I bring out. Long-winded explanation, I understand, because I got jumbled over my words. But even still, this thing, it's a great move. It's just such a great move. Sludge Bomb, obviously. Hit Stab. There's a Sylveon. I want to hit Sylveon with a Sludge Bomb. I would like to get poisons on things. That'd be great. Thunder Wave is so crucial. The reason why I'm designed to live so much from Dragapult is because I want to make sure I Thunder Wave that thing. The speed Dragapult has is dumb. I hate it. I don't want it to be able to move that fast. I want to be able to spread paralysis to everything I can paralyze. Period. If I can paralyze the Jirachi, perfect. If I can paralyze the Sylveon, that'd be kind of cool. I am going to be clicking Thunder Wave a lot in this game. Plain and simple. So, it's important. And Slack Off because I want recovery on top of Regenerator. I just want to be able to put myself in range to be able to put myself back in max HP. So again, I can hide my Zoroark a little bit better. But yeah, that's our team. Sorry for the long-winded team builder. I'll try to make these things quicker going forward. It's just been a while. I'm a little bit rusty. But let's go ahead and hop right into the match. What is up, YouTube? Ladies and gentlemen, we are here again for the NPBF. We are here for our matchup against Sionie and the Z-Guardian Kokos. Super excited for this one. I love playing against Sionie. I'm basically also playing against myself because I drafted this team. So it's going to be very interesting. You just watched our team builder portion. You know why we have our Corviknight, Zoroark, Bouffalant, Keldeo, Rotom, Spook, and Galarian Slowking. He decided to bring the Dragapult, the Jirachi, the Sylveon, Suicune, Drapion, and the Charizard. So nothing really like stands out as like super crazy here. Nothing really stands out as like, wow, I don't believe he brought this. Whoa, crazy. Definitely didn't expect that. Yo, wow, that's nuts. Like, I knew these three for sure. I knew were coming. I also knew he would bring the Drapion because he doesn't want to be dealing with this nonsense the whole game, just me firing off free future sites. Suicune kind of felt like it was logical. Combine Suicune's really good against me. Charizard is kind of like the only one that I would maybe be like, doesn't have the best matchup, but it kind of does. It helps him deal with Corviknight better. It helps him deal with, kind of scares away Comfey. It helps him deal with, it's faster than pretty much everything on my team except bar the Keldeo, which is good. So it's a really threatening Mon against my team offensively, so it makes complete sense as to why it's here. So I don't really see anything that like I wouldn't have brought if I were him, so that's cool. Looking at his team, anything else that like anything notable that's not there? I don't think Rotom Mow really is notable here. Obviously, it's an electric type; it can do a little bit of work against a couple members of my team, but trying to fit it in when you have like these kind of monsters is just tough here. Sandslash is not really great here. Kind of shut down entirely by Corviknight alone. So that's a thing. Crustle, not the best matchup for it. Beware, kind of could see it, kind of could not. It really depends on what you thought I was going to go for. And Regice is no. Between Corviknight and Bouffalant, and I have a lot of strong things that hit on the physical side, so I wouldn't expect him to bring something like Regice, which is a Spadef tank, to this one. So, looking at what he has here, I kind of wanted to just lead Zoroark, to be honest. I tend to favor leading Zoroark whenever I have it, to my detriment sometimes, but kind of wanted to just lead Zoroark. I'm pretty sure I led Zoroark, if I remember correctly. I played the game like almost a week ago. Well, okay, it wasn't that long ago, but it feels like it was long ago. But he leads with the Drapion as I lead, indeed, with the Zoroark. This is the Zoroark. And now I immediately, like, I know I can take a knockoff because I'm a Zoroark, but I switch anyway because I'm like, I need him to think that that's real. So he knocks off my Rocky Helmet immediately, which kind of sucks. It sucks that I had to lose it, but it was like nothing else on my team really wanted to lose its item. I didn't want to lose my Chesto on Keldeo because I need that for sure. I didn't want to lose my Citrus on Bouffalant so early in the match. Like I wanted to keep that for as long as possible. So it's unfortunate that had to happen, but we're just going to go ahead and Brave Bird here, just to try to get some chip on something. We get a little bit of chip on the Suicune. We take a Scald, and we're just going to U-turn out. I could have roosted there, but wasn't really too pressed about that. Go into Rotom, scare him out. The funny thing about scaring him out like that is, like, he's scared out because he expects an electric move, which I think works really well with this set against his team, because I can just throw off free Willows all the time, and everything else on the team, like, he's not switching Charizard in if he's switching Suicune out fearing a strong electric type move, right? Like, he's not going to do Suicune to Charizard on that. So that's important. That's very important. Excuse me. But yeah, that's not happening. That's not something that's ever going to happen. So I get to just fire off Will-O-Wisps and not think about it. So I get to burn the Sylveon, which is nice. Nice little chip damage on the Sylveon. I go hard Bouffalant as he goes for the Hyper Voice, and we see the soundproof. It worked. I'm so happy. I didn't know it had soundproof until I was prepping. I promise. I had no idea. So I went for Throat Chop, thinking that the Jirachi was coming in, and it indeed does. So I'm very pleased with that. He goes for the Thunder Wave here, which really stuck. Really sucked. But I'm able to get a Roost off here as he sets up his rocks. I don't believe I had Defog in this match. I don't remember if I had Defog in this match. No, I didn't. I had 3 attacks, Roost, Corv. I just switch hard into my actual Galarian Slowking here. Tank a Flamethrower and a Scorching Sands. And then I am able to get off a Thunder Wave onto the Charizard. And once again, I stayed in here because he goes into the Dragapult. And I'm like, no matter what he does, like, I'm good. Because I have the Sea Berry. So I don't have to think here. And I just click Thunder Wave again. And he turns out to be a physical Dragapult. At least as of now, I believe he's a physical Dragapult, right? So I get to Thunder Wave this thing, and that is so massive. So I switch here, get myself some Regenerator, but I have to keep in the back of my mind, Slowking's coming back in at like 60-some%. Here it comes again. I need to get this thing healthy. So he goes hard Drapion on my Slowking, and I'm just really, alright, cool, I got to slack off for free. And now my Zoroark is properly hidden once again. Rocks are up, so it can't be perfectly hidden forever, unless I don't bring it back in, but it's hidden again. And now we see the Flamethrower, so now we know that this thing is mixed, which is great. Which is good information for us. Now I can start roosting. And hope I don't get fully parried. Because now I'm stalling him out of his Flamethrowers. Which, as long as I don't get fully parried, I can do that all day long. I have to not get crit and not get fully parried. There's a full para, but we're still out of range of it, so it's fine. We can get a roost off here. Like, I was blessed in this match when it comes to full paras, because I don't think I got fully parried once in a very crucial situation. And even if it was, like, semi-crucial where I got parried, it wasn't, like, the worst thing in the world. Alright, so I go into the Zoroark here, and I get the knockoff off here. I go for a Throat Chop, because it was the strongest move I had. Unfortunately, it just barely missed out. I think it was a roll to be able to kill it there. Unfortunately, it does not, and Zoroark just drops, which really sucks. Really sucks that happened. But it means that he didn't go for like a rest or anything. He also didn't have his Chesto Berry, so which is really good. So he didn't go for a rest there. He had to kill me. Right there, or else he was fucked. So it's really good for me. They didn't try to go for rest there. I'm really glad he didn't. He also might have predicted a taunt. That's also a possibility after seeing the knockoff. So I go into Keldeo here, and I'm just going to be able to pick this thing off with a Skull of my own. So he goes now into the Sylveon. And again, I have Bouffalon as my switch-in. He can just click Mystical Fire, but that does nothing. Bouffalon is so fat. Oh my goodness, this fat beast. I just click Iron Head here. I get some chip damage off on the Drapion, and I can go now back into Corviknight because it's a knockoff switch-in now. And also, he has Poison Jab, so we get an even better switching situation than we could have asked for. We get a Brave Bird off on this Corviknight, or on this Charizard. Big damage on the Charizard. And now we can go into our Slowking here, take the Flamethrower really well, and then slack off in this thing's face as it roosts. Scorching Sands, again, does really not much to us. He does get the burn, which kind of sucks, but it's like, whatever, I guess. So, he's going to... Okay. So, yeah, he Scorching Sands me, I get Sludge Bomb off, do a decent chunk of damage, and it's like, alright, cool. Thinking he was going to roost again, I was like, alright, cool. I can make this situation even better for myself, because I get a Future Sight up, and I don't have to think. So I get the Future Sight up, and he flinches me with Iron Head as I try to para him. I recognize that like trying to para this thing was kind of getting a little greedy, and that's fine. But I had to give it a shot. He takes 8% from the Future Sight, so unfortunate. If I'd been able to para him, that would have been perfect situation. But again, trying to get through those Iron Head flinches is nuts. So I fire off a Hex here just to get damage off on something, and it hits the Sylveon. Does a decent chunk. Iron Head also does a decent chunk, and I get a flinch, but he already had the Wish up, so not that big of a deal. But I know I can Iron Head him down. I have 2 KO from this range. So he's switching. I know he's switching. I get the Throat Chop off on the Jirachi as he paras me, but I get off another Throat Chop. Now, it's like, alright, I'm not staying in here because I think he's going to start Iron Heading me, and look at that, he Iron Heads me. So I get to go into my Rotom for free, and he actually is slower than me, and I get the Hex off, as he goes for the Zen Headbutt. Now, the crit did not matter. I double-checked it afterwards. It could have mattered if he was getting the absolute min roll. Like, if he was getting the minnest of min rolls, then that mattered. But I think it did, like, 44 min from just, like, regular, like, offensive Jirachi. It just did 44 min. So, like, it's fine. Like, that crit doesn't matter. So I just go into Keldeo here in Secret Sword, and I get rid of the Jirachi, and that's fantastic. Unfortunately, I don't get to click Hex on everything now, but that's okay. So I go into Bouffalant, and thanks to the rocks, I get to eat my Citrus Berry, and he gets fully parried, which is even better. So it goes for Dragon Darts, gets a decent chunk of damage off, and I'm able to kill this thing with a Throat Chop. Bouffalant has claimed a kill, ladies and gentlemen. He Fire Fangs me here and gets the Fire Fang flinch. And I was like, fuck. Because I clicked Facade. I was like, Facade kills this thing. Facade nukes this thing. Thank you, Mr. Para. So he gets the Fire Fang flinch on me. I was like, ah, damn it. Okay. Unfortunate. But he gets the 15% roll, and I get to Facade him. It's like, yes. Brilliant. Brilliant. So I get to go into Keldeo now and take out the Zard, now that it has taken out my poor Bouffalant. But Bouffalant getting 2 kills in week 1 is perfect. It's literally like the scenario that should happen. Now, he's mystical firing me and stuff. I'm just kind of clicking Sludge Bombs and keeping this thing healthy. You know, that's the whole point of this. He's doing his thing. I'm doing my thing. You know, I get 30% off. He's wishing up. And now he's pretty healthy. So what does he fucking do? What does he do? Hold on. Wait for it. He gets me down to -2. Okay. What's going to happen now? When do you start clicking it? When do you start clicking? I thought I remembered this differently. Why do I remember this differently? Calm Mind. There it is. There it fucking is. Calm Mind. He starts calm minding in my face. The disrespectful nonsense. Disrespectful nonsense. So I go into Keldeo here, because basically my mindset is like, I need to hit this thing as hard as I can with something right now, and Secret Sword is the best thing I have to get around the Calm Minds. So, unfortunately, that is what I had to do. Corviknight comes in here, and I'm like, scrambling. I'm scrambling. So I'm like, I might just lose this. Okay, let me. Here, Max Spadef. Careful. Sylveon. I don't remember if he was fully Fizdef. I believe he was. Okay. Give him Mystical Fire. Okay. +3. The odds he had to kill me here. You can see that right there at the bottom. And I didn't want to redo the screen to make it work. But 59 to 69%. He had a really good chance to just auto-win the game here because he had this set. Let's see how it goes. He Mystical Fires. He gets the absolute min roll. And I'm sitting here screaming like, don't get parried. Don't get parried. Don't get parried. Don't get parried. Iron Head comes off and we kill the Sylveon. And we are finally able to beat Sionie. Oh my god. Finally. I actually have to go to work now. But, yeah, finally we were able to take him down. It has been a long time coming, but we were able to finally do it. Again, apologize for how I had to play the game. It was a very difficult matchup, and I had to do what I had to do. But, yeah. Thank you for watching. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like down below. We are 1-0, +2. And we are moving on to next week. And, yeah, till then, I'm PokePrimer, and I'm signing off. Peace.